Is it anti-immigration or illegal immigration? What do you say?
I don't think anybody's illegal.
I hear this a lot. What makes refugees not illegal?
Because people aren't illegal.
Of course, but when they come into the country without passports, what can you do about that?
We can welcome them in. They're refugees, they're asylum seekers, they're fleeing persecution.
Right. And how do you feel about the taxpayer having to pay for that?
The taxpayer doesn't pay for that. I'm answering enough questions.
Okay. Apparently the taxpayer doesn't pay for illegal immigrants.
Liberal white woman will be the end of the Western civilization. I actually agree with that. I'm even more feminist than her.
Hot mom and a mini dress. Hot mom and a mini dress. Batty boss said no pants. Batty boss said no pants. Batty boss said no pants. Gen Z Slater, whoop. Gen Z Slater, whoop. Gen Z Slater, whoop. Das Sneaker a road case. Das Sneaker a road case. Das Sneaker a road.
Don't get me wrong, my boss a get a bomb.
Red nails and a Stanley Cup. Red nails and a Stanley Cup.
Put the fire na me blonde kush, hash purple skunk, yo colombici jam jam dur.
Jim the Pay Gap, bring it back. Jim the Pay Gap, bring it back. Jim the Pay Gap, bring it back. It's giving millennial core. It's giving millennial core. It's giving millennial core. Women should go back to the kitchen. Women should go back to the kitchen. Women should go back to the kitchen. To cringe impossible. Try not to cringe impossible. Try not to cringe impossible. Make it stop. Hate this. Make it stop. Hate this. Make it stop. Hate this. Buy them on a
To the woman saying that criticism of these women is sexist, not all women act like immature, annoying bimbos. In fact, most of us don't. It's not just the men who don't like you, the rest of us don't either. A woman yelled, "I don't care what color you are, just don't hoo-hoo our kids" during the right-wing protest earlier this afternoon. Center of Expertise on Child Woohoo abuse statistic, 93% of the defenders from this type of offense are white British people. Well, that might be true. This is annoying. The fact that you don't call it out because you're afraid for certain things, maybe that's wrong, don't you think?
So we'll throw the full force of the law at offenders, whether that's charging people with assaults, violent disorder, riot, and if terrorism offences are appropriate, I know the Director of Public Prosecutions has said he's prepared to consider that. We will throw the full force of the law at people. And whether you're in this country committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you.
Talk to me about that, because we have seen some high-profile figures whipping up the hatred. You talked about it in there with the officers, in fact, about this being added to by online commentary. I mean, I'm even thinking of the likes of Elon Musk getting involved. What are you considering when it comes to dealing with people who are whipping up this kind of behaviour from behind a keyboard, maybe in a different country?
Being a keyboard warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be guilty of offences of incitement, of stirring up racial hatred. There are numerous terrorist offences regarding the sort of publishing of material. All of those offences are in play if people are provoking hatred and violence on the streets, and we will come after those individuals just as we will physically confront on the streets the thugs and the yobs who are causing the problems for communities.
So what he means is this: Samir Ali was jailed for 20 months for affray, and Etna Ghafoor was jailed for 18 months for the same offense. Ali and Ghafoor were captured on CCTV walking down the road after an anti-racism demonstration and encountered 4 white men. Ali punched 2 of them before grabbing another man's flag and attacking him, while Ghafoor hit one member of the group 3 times. Jordan Pallor, 28, who wasn't at the riots, was jailed for 20 months for publishing writing material online intended to stir racial hatred. He posted, "Every man and their dog should be smashing the F out of the Britain Hotel," referring to the hotel that was home to 210 refugees and asylum seekers. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, physical violence and social violence are both very dangerous, so you have to be very careful what you say.
Right to jail, right away.
Destroying the sovereignty. They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to cut all their throats and get rid of them all. I just want to say thank you.
I guess that is not a crime because it ended it with "thank you all." I'm like, okay, you're not showing power to tell people there's nothing you can do about it when I block the traffic, but I have a place to pray, but I'll do it in front of you. Toronto, Canada, serious question. What happens to the scheduled train tram routes that was occurring? I presume they got cancer or could be a health or safety risk. I have no freaking idea. It feels more like a power move in the face of the others, and I think that might incite way more hatred than you think. That's why you need the police, because it's legalized hatred to just say, accept us the way we are, and we'll do it in your face, blocking your street, and there's nothing you can do about it, even if you helped us build a mosque that we're not using. Do you see the hypocrisy? It is actually funny though that The Guardian is saying England riots, how has the two-tier police myth become so widespread? And I'm like, well, you could just fact check that back in the day you actually covered it, but now you're just saying it never existed. Gaslighting. I told you it's woke. Non-binary is just an identity choice, because if Raven was actually non-binary, they would not compete in the women's division. They would be in the non-binary division. But they don't want that, because they feel you're treating them like a dog. I've been told that.
But if Kamala Harris win, oh, y'all niggas is cooked. I'm letting y'all know now. Y'all niggas is done. It's over. I hope y'all ready for all that shit. Cause I don't think they're gonna let Trump win. I'm gonna give it a buzz. I don't know how this shit got political. I don't know. But what am I dead? I don't think they're gonna let this nigga win.
And if you saw the chat on the left side, people were like, what do you mean bada beam bada boom? Look at the VP that they have chosen and let Anonymous tell you why it's a bad choice.
Welcome to the race, Tim Walz. Let's make sure America knows who you are. You helped ignite the George Floyd riots, the worst the country had ever seen in decades. While Minneapolis burned, you stalled on deployment of the National Guard for an entire day, blaming the city for not submitting the right paperwork. You let your daughter leak the Guard's deployment plans online so that rioters would know how long they have to loot the city with impunity. Minneapolis is a war zone because of you. Just days after the attempted murder of Donald Trump, you called him and his supporters fascists, egging on the same rhetoric that led him to being shot in the first place. You have overseen some of the most radical youth trans surgery laws in the country. Under your leadership, teenagers can get their breasts chopped off and get sterilized, and your government calls it health care. You have the most radical abortion laws in the country. Zero limits. Every year, 5 to 6 babies are born alive and then murdered, legally, under laws you support. On immigration, you famously said you wanted to provide a ladder so invaders can come over Trump's wall. You are a radical open border zealot. Also during COVID, you approved $500 million in hero pay for frontline workers, only to have 40% of that money go to people who were ineligible or, in many cases, literally deceased. In the White House, you were Pelosi's sidekick and did whatever the Democrats demanded. You will try to disguise yourself as a folksy Midwestern moderate. In reality, you are a white male version of Kamala Harris, radical, inept, undeserving to be in leadership.
I mean, sure, you cannot believe Anonymous because they hide behind a bunch of stuff. You can just Google everything they said and find out it is the truth. OnlyFans and Olympic star Alicia Newman twerks after the first pole vault medal. I'm like, wow. And I can preach about Jesus at the Olympics.
Right to jail, right away.
Absolutely shameful that Canada has a literal war representing us at the Olympics. Okay, that's gangster, okay. As a feminist, I feel so bad that she was lied to, because I really care about women's future.
And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right.
That's racist.
There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
Normally I end with a cool summary. Now I end with just like the video and comment, because he said everything that I could have said.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush, hash, purple, skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, durloqueta, verdetta, welcome.